Some bitch-ass motherfucker asked me if he could thumbs down on a video. I was ranting about people putting a thumbs down and not saying anything. How fucking stupid it is. It's like, this is an artwork, and I gotta, read a bunch of shit, write it down, and then put it into words, and then edit it and put it out and then get all these pictures and all this bullshit. And so it's like an artwork, and this motherfucker, says he doesn't like it, but he doesn't say why he doesn't like it. That's like a fucking 2-year-old. A 2-year-old can't tell you why the kid doesn't like to eat something or whatever. Why the fuck don't you like it? So this bitch is like, hey, can I thumbs down and then fucking head out? Yeah, sure, you fucking bitch.
Oh my god, what did I just listen to?
What the fuck you think it is? It's somebody's opinion.
Excuse me, but why is that guy so angry?
Because he's mad.
But why they gotta swear so much?
Because he's pissed off.
It really hurts my feelings. How can we stop him?
Well, there's two solutions. We could either cut out his tongue or cut off your ears. Yeah, I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm losing my voice, right? But what is the cancer of human civilization? I know I bring that up a lot, don't I? Civilization, from what I gather through all the books that I've read, how people put it together is basically hunters and gatherers got together, and they usually formed by a river, some body of water, right? So they could, stay there. And then they started an art form, and they started religion, they started a language, so they all could communicate and build together. And then that started a civilization with culture and all that shit. And with that culture and that civilization, they had to come up with rules and laws so they become more civilized, right? Then some barbarians come in, then they fucking thumbs down on your shit. They'll come and rob your store. They'll get arrested and get released in 2 days. They'll smash up all the windows down the street and loot all the stores. And then the civilization just is like, well, I guess that's just the way it is. And until that ideology starts to spread, then people think, oh, well, I guess it's okay to be a fucking jagoff. I guess it's okay to be a fucking cunt. Why the fuck do I gotta consider anybody else when I gotta only consider myself? And fuck you, I'm gonna break your fucking windows, rob your car, fucking jack in the street. That's what they fucking think. Inconsiderate, low-life, bitch-ass motherfuckers. That's the politicians, the fucking teachers, the people on the fucking news, people on TV that run the fucking Disney and shit like that. Yeah, this shit didn't just come out of the blue. I'm gonna make another video on this particular issue. But yeah, these are the fucking cunts that come over here and fucking downvote, and they're like, "Hey, can I downvote?" I got nothing to say, but I'm just gonna say, "Can I downvote and leave?" Because that screws up the algorithm, and it tells YouTube, "Hey, don't share this shit because these fucking cunts fucking downvoted." That means our fucking programmed robots are doing the job and telling us not to fucking share this guy's shit. I mean, this is a history channel, not a pro-politics channel or pro-religious channel or any of that shit. Or pro-racial channel, right? But the cool thing is that you can see these fucking cunts are the same motherfuckers that you've seen throughout all of history. See, when I first started reading history about 11 years ago, 11 and a half years ago, when I first got sober, yeah, I was able to read when I stopped drinking. I was able to read and remember. But when I first started reading history, I just picked up whatever random books I could easily in the front of bookshelves, right? The most promoted books. And history is great in the sense that it lets you know that throughout of all of humanity, we've never fucking changed. There's always going to be greedy fucking asshole motherfuckers throughout all of history. And good people and bad people, right? But as far as the first books I got, not so much. I got like Howard Zinn's, what was it called, a People's History. After I read that book and a couple others, like I read *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari, and then 1491 by Charles C. Mann. When I read those were like some of the first few books I read 11 years ago. I would look in the mirror at night and I'd be like, I hate white people. I hate white people. These books made me hate white people. I said, white people and capitalism in America is fucking garbage. Man. And I would tell people on the street, do you know how bad fucking white people are? Yeah, 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 yeah. And then I did some thinking. I was like, there's got to be more to the story than what's here in these fucking weird books. And then so I did more research and started reading memoirs and documents and shit like that. And I found out there was more to the story than what these fucking cunts talk about. But anyways, these kind of books that I just mentioned are the programming books that are that program these people that thumbs down. They go to the colleges and the schools that promote these types of books and this type of learning and this fucked up way of thinking. And I went to a couple of colleges and took history there as well, and I seen it firsthand. I think I told the story a couple times in some of my older episodes. I'll give you a quick example again. When I was at Triton doing history there, the teacher or the book said, when Columbus and his people came to the American islands, the natives were on the shore, and the natives in the book, the natives were called Taino, and the Spanish or the Europeans were called white people. And I was like, why are they specific about those guys but not the other ones? And then she's like, and then the Taino were like, man, look at those ugly fucking people on the boat. Ugly, drunken motherfuckers. Then the white guys came onto the American islands and killed all the Taino. And Columbus is a fucking dick. And I was like, wow, that's fucking wild. I was like, I read a whole different thing. She's like, for the next exam, you cannot reference to any other books. And I did. And she gave me an F for it, and I fucking dropped the class. Yeah. So that's what they're teaching your children. So that's why when people go out and they're smashing up stores and fucking things up, they have this in the back of their head that everybody else is the problem. Yeah, so when I got sober 11 years ago, I started reading a lot of books. And when a person gets sober, the body's kind of a weird thing and you do strange stuff. And so I would read books for 2 or 3 days at a time where I wouldn't sleep. I'd stay up for 2 or 3 days. Like, I would read all day and all night until work the next morning. Then I would go to work, come home, and do the same thing. And I would not sleep 2 or 3 nights in a row. But at the time, I was reading books like they were like fiction books. I was just reading them from front to back, and I was done. Then I jump onto another book, and then people are like, what did you read on that 2 books ago? And I'm like, something about Mexico and the Mayans and stuff, you know. So I started taking notes, and then since I started taking notes, I was like, well, I'll put it in a book. And I started taking loose notes to edit later. And then I was like, maybe I'll make a YouTube channel out of it. And so that's what this is. And when I first started this out, I had my 1835 f1.8 lens on me and my Comica wireless microphones. And I was doing that for a while, but there's too many fucked up people out there that want a thumbs down on you for no reason. So they're the same kind of people that will attack you, in the street. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't put my face in the fucking videos anymore. So that's why I took all those videos down. Like the first 15 or 20 were of my face. So that's the reason why it's just audio now. And at first I was basically reading my notes to the camera, basically. And so I kind of took that and I started commenting a little bit more around those notes until I started getting banned on different platforms and strikes for no fucking reason. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I was like, I did nothing wrong. Those fucking cunts. So now I'm just going to be myself and tell all these people to go fuck themselves and see how they like it. They're going to be like, thumbs down. Bitch, fuck you. But yeah, they might not like the history that I pull out. I mean, I try to cover everything I can, from America to Mexico to Europe to Africa, everything I can. And I try not to use unnecessary adjectives, right? Like how news usually uses those types of words to describe somebody in a good way or bad way, right? There used to be a really cool site that got shut down during the left wing purge of shit that they didn't like. But it was really cool because it was a fucking site that would dissect every fucking article, and it would dissect it and pull out adjectives and adverbs and all this shit. That, like, for example, they would say some random article would say something like the Nazi-like conservative candidate has all these MAGA voters ready to bring pain and death to to the country or some shit like that, And then so the website would be like, why the fuck did they call them MAGA voters? Why do we need to know that? Are those the only kind of people that are going to vote for this guy? Does the guy claim that he's a Nazi? And was he really angry or anxious? Hey, we need to fucking dramatize this motherfucking article. What do we fucking do? Let's stick in 1,000 fucking words that don't need to be there. Because we're not trying to fucking inform you of anything. We're trying to fucking get to your emotions. We're not trying to get you to fucking think critically. We want you to fucking feel. And as long as we could get you to fucking feel for us, we could get you to fight for us too, bitches. Now get in line, you fucking cunts. I mean, everybody has some kind of bias, a little bit of bias or a lot, right? Whether it's religious or whatever, or cultural, right? So I'm an atheist, so I do tend to use a lot of comedy when I talk shit about Islam or Christianity. For example, I talked about how Muslims like to build a mosque and a military base in the areas that they conquered in Northwest Africa. And then when Europeans came, they would stick big wooden crosses in churches to do the same thing. And they're basically marking their territory like a dog peeing on the tree. And that was the comedy. But also the other part of the comedy is the fucked up thing that humans do. How fucked up humans are. Yeah, well, you might not like Christians, so you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on your side about that cross. Fuck those guys on the cross. Or you might not like Islam, and you're like, fucking stupid mosque, right? But, people do that in all different cases, right? Like if I go to a Mexican neighborhood down the street, I'm going to see a lot of shit in Spanish, and I'm going to see a lot of Mexican flags, right? I'm going to see more Mexican flags than I will American flags. And if I go to Chinatown, it'll be the same thing. And if I go to a Polish neighborhood like Palos Hills, well, I think Palos becoming more Arab now. But back in the day, you would see more Polish flags, right? Like every fucking car you're behind has some fucking Polish bumper sticker. So yeah, people are proud of their fucking culture and where they came from. And when they come to a new place because their fucking old place sucks, they bring their shit with them, right? And they're like, hey, this is our fucking good shit that's better than yours, but we can't go back to it because it's dog shit. Oh, same thing with the fucking Muslims, though, right? Well, when they conquered lands, they were bringing their culture and their fucking language. Well, the language kind of got spread through trade and shit. So it was necessary to everybody speak Arabic, and since they were speaking Arabic, they're like, hey, by the way, there's this religion and there's a guy in the sky, and then there's these wives and all this shit. And so it was kind of like that. And so when they put the mosque and the military there, there was more incentive to keep these people in that culture, in that religion. And if you go to Africa, parts of Africa today, like Somalia is like 99% fucking Muslim, or 95 or some shit like that. It's fucking crazy. And if you go to Western or Christian states, there's a lot of fucking atheists that I meet, at least. It seems like one's a little better at keeping people in line. But everybody always knows how you should fucking live your life better. Everybody's always got a better idea for you to live your life. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people. And so I make fun of this kind of shit throughout the episodes. Hey, I think it's a good idea. Hey, I think it's a good idea that... Yeah, my voice is fucked. Hey, I think it's a good idea that you maybe try reading the Bible, or how about the Quran? Well, why don't you try not eating meat for a little bit? Try that for 30 fucking days, see how you feel. How about you go fuck yourself? You could shove that fucking, you could shove that vegetarian shit up your fucking ass. Oh, sugar's gonna kill your child. Fuck you. But that same kind of pride for religion could be as ethnicity or nationality or race too, right? There's the Eurocentric and then there's the Afrocentric, right? And I used to notice Mexican dude says Mexican people are the best people. I didn't call him a Mexican supremacist, but I had the thought in my head because that's what fucking society would have called him. But he gets a pass because he's not white. But I see these history videos by some Afrocentric dudes, kind of in line with the same with the books I mentioned earlier, um, where they would talk about like how life in Africa or throughout the world was great, and then the white people showed up and fucked everything up. And I'm like, that's hilarious, but there's a lot more to the story than that. You could find fucked up individuals on every part of the land, every continent. But yeah, the trans-Saharan slave route took a lot of Africans to Asia and Europe and throughout Africa, and a lot of people died and lost their homes because of it. So I like to call out those people, and people said commented that particular video was racist. But I'm not racist in the sense that I hate anybody because of the color of their skin. I've connected with a lot of black and brown people throughout my life and made really good friends with a lot of people that were not white. But racism kind of got a new definition now. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit from the program people that I mentioned earlier. There's been times where I was called racist for not wanting to eat tacos. Hey, why don't you eat some of these steak tacos here, man? Because they're not fucking edible. Oh, but it's good steak tacos. They're so delicious. It's not fucking edible. Well, you racist. Well, go fuck yourself. The inedible pieces of meat, you can't chew them, so you just gotta swallow them as whole. Just imagine what your fucking stomach's gotta go through of eating that fucking bullshit. The stupid fucking people that think you should accept everything that's non-white or non-American, and it's okay to hate fucking pizza or hate fucking hot dogs or beef sandwiches. It's okay to hate that because it's American, right? But you better like tacos and you better like hummus. Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. And I make fun of the Polish and Arabic language. I've been known to do that. Even though I could speak a few words or a few phrases in each language, I think it's fucking hilarious sounding. And I make fun of it, and people are like, oh, that's racist. Not really. It's just funny fucking language. Like Polish people like would talk like their teeth are closed. And Arabic sounds like somebody's choking on food. I just think it's funny. There's a Muslim dude that lives down the street that I hang out with sometimes, and when he talks to his whoever in Arabic on the phone, I feel bad for him. I want to help him out. Be like, hey man, you okay? You choking? But I don't hate him for it. I just think it's funny. Yeah, so like since Barack Obama, the country has got really divided in a lot of different ways, politically and racially. It's fucked up now. And then the rise of the cancel culture, which I got banned and fucking canceled and fucking downvoted and striked and fucking multiple fucking places, and at times when all I fucking posted was passive fucking history shit, and they didn't like it. So now I said, fuck off. I'm just gonna put this fucking shit and go fuck yourself. Yeah, this was a passive channel where I just read some fucking notes off, lay on the couch sometimes. It's like I was half asleep, right? But now it's just a big fuck you, and I'll still tell history, right? But a lot of history on TV is bullshit, right? Or it's half true, right? Or dramatized, right? But there's a lot of times in history there's a lot of fucking really interesting things that happen, And so I thought maybe I could take the notes and tell stories with it, and tell some stories of people's lives, on a daily basis if I can, through notes and memoirs and shit like that. So it's kind of like storytelling, right? It's kind of like watching a movie, right? And you get the eventual fuck off commentary. And with knowing, being able to hear and listen to all the different histories of all the different people from every region, from Africa to Europe to Asia to America, and from every region, from all the different times, you can see how fucked up humans are, and how interesting they are at the same time, right? And you could just see that, like, humanity and civilization is fucked up, and people are always trying to, fuck shit up for other people. But there's a lot of good parts in history, and that's the whole point of checking this history out. Because people say, like, hey, you gotta learn history so you don't repeat the same mistakes. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? It's fucking human nature. Don't let another guy like Hitler come in. Well, who the fuck was Hitler? He was a control narcissist. So should we punch everybody in the face that's a control narcissist? You'd be punching a lot of motherfuckers in the face, probably the whole fucking globe. Besides maybe a small percentage, right? Maybe fucking monks or some shit like that, who knows? But instead, understanding history is understanding humanity and how we evolve, and how civilization's always going to have the same motherfuckers in it. We're always going to want to succeed. There's always going to be some motherfuckers that want to compete against you and steal your job, or steal your wife or boyfriend or girl, or whatever. There's always some kind of fucking shit like that. It will never stop. There will always be a guy that wants you to persuade you to read his religious book. The guy in the sky is real, man. I tell you. They'll fucking argue with you about some fucking shit that. Anyways, understanding history through this type of lens. There was something I heard the other day where a guy was had a different, because I do photography. So a guy was like, "Look at how I used the 50 millimeter on this flower here," and he says, "See, it's a fucking beautiful picture of this flower in this little image here." He says, "Now let me put like what he put like an 18 millimeter on or something like that. Now it was a bigger image, and there's a bunch of fucking horse shit laying around." He says, "Now if I use a bigger lens, you see all the shit. So if you use a little lens, everything would be fine. It depends on what lens you use. Then if you use the opposite lens, it depends on what situation you're in. Sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture, and sometimes you got to just use a smaller lens to appreciate the little bit that's in there, right?" That's the point he was making. And so going through history day by day, learning about the different personalities and the different situations throughout history, with different people, with the Europeans and Africans, the Muslims and Africans, whatever, and then the Aztecs. Learning about all those different situations, you'd be like, man, what would I have done in that situation? Or I would have done the same thing in that situation, or something like that. Then you would get to accept or understand how people did shit back then. And to understand it is to accept it. And I guess by accepting things, you would have less hatred. Like, for example, my ex-girlfriend's a control narcissist, right? I don't hate her for it. I accept it. I know what she is, and I know how she is, and I'm not going to change her. And that's the way it is. And I have to make it work to do whatever we can for the child, right? And like Joe Biden got elected, I didn't go outside and start beating people up and be like, I'm pissed off. Huh? Or when Trump got elected, I didn't go out and burn American flags. I can't believe it. But a lot of people were telling me that when Barack Obama got in office, they said he was the Antichrist. Although I thought Barack Obama was a pretty cool guy, besides a few of his ideas. I didn't go out and break shit or slap people that voted for him. I accepted it. And that's probably problem with most of the world, right? They can't accept shit. They can't accept whoever's in office, right? Or they can't accept your opinion, right? So they'll attack you. Or they can't accept who you voted for, so they'll attack you. I'm not saying go live next to a volcano and accept that you're going to be burned. Like Jordan Peterson said, life is about pain, and there's very little moments in life that you have happiness, and those are those little moments that you fight for. That's the moments that get you out of bed in the morning to go to work so you could get some happiness. But the rest of the day you're stressed out and you're angry or you miss your girlfriend or whoever. But then there's those little moments that you look forward to of happiness. Even guys like Elon Musk, his life's all about work. He's stressed out all the time. He's got a lot of money, but he's got nice little moments of happiness, just like anybody else. But throughout humanity, there's going to be competition and war and people putting down on other people. There's always going to be a higher class with some leaders on top and then some people on the bottom. Now, I was reading something today. It's interesting. I want to finish this video now, but that thought. I was reading something today about the Taino. Somebody, I was reading something random. Some fucking old document. Some dude wrote that the Taino, that everything was peaceful there and everybody was cool. Everybody shared everything. Everything was nice, and then the fucking Europeans came and fucked everything up. Now, I got another book I'm going to be doing a video on. I'll probably do separate episodes on it, where a guy sat with these people every single day and wrote down everything that he saw. And Columbus left him there. He's like, hey, dude, hang out here with these people for a while. Take some notes, what they eat, the language, their customs, everything. Just write it all down. There's a lot more to fuck. I mean, humans are all the fucking same. Anywhere you go. I'm not trying to produce I gotcha videos. Like, ha, I fucking told you. See? No. It's basically just exposing like humanity and how people are the same at all times. So that's like pretty much the whole point of this channel is just to expose that, right? To accept that there's good people in the world and there's bad people in the world. It's just the way the fuck it is. In every video I have, I'm going to get a bunch of these fucking cunts downvoting without commenting. They just like to do it because they could get away with it. But anyways, I got to stop this video. My voice is just going to disappear. Share this video with your friends and your enemies. They'll hate you for it. And that's it. Adios.